Yeah, the ROIs, I don't even know if there's like a tangible number. It's like almost like infinite, right? Because this was just almost like 3 months of joining and like my life looks completely different and just so much happier. And just now, yeah, that's just 3 months, right? So who knows, like a month or a year at the end of the year, like 2 years, 5 years. Yeah, the ROI is just infinite. I really feel like just joining would just change the trajectory of my life. And who's to say maybe I could have got there eventually myself, but this was Disneyland Fast Pass, right? And I'm just so grateful that I just took the chance and invested in the community.
Man, we've been so happy to have you. Your energy's been insane. You could do it yourself, but there's a Be the Guy boot camp and you booked the boat before you joined. So you might as well make sure you get it right. All right. We've got Josh coming to us from Arizona. Josh, I wanted to get into it because you sent me the best message this weekend of how you threw a boat day, and it was a perfect full circle moment of you becoming the guy. So if you can share what you said in that message, I'd be thrilled.
100%. So just reflecting back. So yeah, last week I had this like crazy boat day. It was 40 people and just like I've never hosted an event before. And so I treated it as an experiment because it was just like a brand new experience to me. It's something actually I wanted to do last year actually. And so I thought about last year and I just had a lot of like doubts, maybe issues about, yeah, am I a guy who's able to host this, throw a sick event for everyone? Will people actually come? So last summer, I was thinking about it and I just pushed it off because I just felt like maybe next year I'd feel ready. And so 2 months ago, I saw one of your tweets about just the idea of being that guy, like buying the shots for the girls table, like inviting your friends out. And so I took that to the level, okay, I've never hosted something before, but let's just go all in, right? Let's just throw this like crazy 40-person boat party. And as soon as I saw the tweet, because I was thinking about it last year, I just decided, okay, like we're just going to go all in and I'll book it. So after I saw the tweet, I literally booked the deposit and I figured we're just going to have to figure out all the details along the way. But it
So
was a
you
very interesting
were a
time.
boat before you joined Local Legends.
It was like a week before I joined Local Legends because I think I saw your stuff on Substack and I saw your content both on Twitter and Substack, but it didn't connect like it was you. So it was actually only a week later when I saw another thing on Substack from you and then you talked about Local Legends. I'm like, oh shit, this was actually you. So it was just like a funny coincidence. But yeah, it was like literally just a week before I joined Local Legends.
I love it. I love it. And when you joined Local Legends, you had like just this instant energy shift. I remember from when we first spoke on the call to then when you joined the first group call. And I remember like you said something and everyone's, oh my God, like your energy is overpowering and you've got this $1 million smile. And I think something that would be great to show to people is that energy shift. And for you, that was so profound. And so I'd love for you to explain what happened. What was that energy shift?
Yeah, it's just interesting because I think maybe at the time, like in the call, maybe there was like specific catalyst, but there's just stuff weighing down on me. And it's maybe just not just unique, like, oh, just something just happened, but it's probably just years and years of just like baggage, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I know part of it was just telling you that, yeah, I remember one of the biggest thing is I had this realization where I just didn't feel proud of anything.
Yeah.
And it just really confused me because I felt like I accomplished some things, but just for some reason inside, it didn't really resonate with me. And then I think post joining Local Legends, like just going through that course and that mindset and just kind of just rewiring my brain about how to think about things, it just kind of unleashed just this different perception I had. And just me being able to celebrate some of these wins I had. And then also just, yeah, it was just, I guess just the different perceptions and mindset had completely shifted my energy where I was just kind of going through life more lighter, just freer, happier, just like living every day as a gift instead of just feeling like, oh, I'll wake up, have to go to work, feel it's a drag. I was excited just to wake up and just improve myself.
It's funny that you say that your perception of yourself changed because I always remember you're like like in week one, you're like, all my friends are just saying like, I have all this motion. Like I've been on these dates, I've gone on more dates like now this week than I had like previously. And that everyone else was noticing that your energy was different and you became very magnetic from changing your own perception of yourself. How does life feel now with this better perception of yourself than before when you had all this shame and guilt and also all this pressure that you were putting on yourself?
Yeah, because I think just a lot of that shame and guilt was those feelings of, oh, if I did something like 2 years ago, how my life would look like dramatically different. I think one of the biggest breakthroughs, I think, was maybe just the idea of I was so hyper fixated on needing to understand this destination, like where I need to be. And like I should have been there like already. And just it was just very unclear to me about what this path looked like. All I cared was the end.
Yeah.
But through Local Legends, I kind of realized like the beauty is just the journey of everything in the middle. And that was such a huge thing just because I think that actually really just unlocked just the ability to just enjoy every day instead of just being just sad that like, oh, I'm not at this like end state. Like you're just happy to making progress towards your goals.
Yeah, yeah, it's what I like to say is like having fun is a good business strategy because now you had 40 people on your boat. Now you have all these other invites to do cool stuff. And in that process, ultimately these big questions you're trying to solve, your career, your life, all this is going to work itself out. I want to go back to the boat. So
Sure.
what does it feel like now that before you had your doubts whether you could be the guy to throw the boat day and get 40 people to show up and make it happen? What does it feel like now that you proved to yourself that you're the guy? What did that feel like on the boat looking and seeing like everyone's here because of me?
It was actually just an amazing just feeling in general and just great reference experience because now going forward, now I know like I can be that. I am that guy.
Yeah, of course.
It's just great just feeling like just being able to throw this for my friends. And like I covered most of it and they were just like, so appreciative. I thought of them and just like me just putting this together an experience for them. I think it just gave me so much fulfillment actually, because I think it's a very great instance of me creating something myself. And this is something like I fostered, put so much time and thought and like energy to, and just see it all in fruition. Like just living in that moment was just such a just amazing feeling. Just finally during that day, like how it all played out.
I love it. Something I talk about is whoever has the most energy wins because you talked about being the guy is not easy to plan all of this. And so maybe talk about how like creating a life that fuels you now creates like this infinite energy source as opposed to like before with all the shame and guilt or pressure. And you felt like probably you had less energy, but now that you're doing what you love and making things happen and being magnetic, how you have more energy because now you can do your work out, dating life, but now also plan an entire boat day on top of that.
Yeah, one of the big takeaways for me was maybe like before pre like Local Legends, I had like goals for myself and stuff, but I feel like how I was operating through life was a lot of it is just a lot of just external forces just kind of guiding me along my life. But through Local Legends, through like your course and all like your advice and stuff, it really honed on about who do I want to be? Like what is my mission? Like what are my values I have? And I think just really having it concrete down, it provided a lot of like stability and I guess a lot of like fulfillment and enjoyment just because now I was just taking too many I think I was just operating from other people's system and stuff, but I never really slowed down to think about, hey, internally, like, what does this all mean towards me? And so now I just been enjoying life so much because I just become so confident that I figure out, hey, these are my values. And every day I'm waking up and like, I'm working towards these, I'm fulfilling these, I'm
Yeah,
living up to these values.
I love it. What were the like, were there certain things or modules or like mindset things that you really attached to that you felt like helped make things clear, unlock better ways of seeing things?
Yeah, I think it was actually the first one. It was like
Yeah.
mortality, right?
Yeah.
Because I think what maybe I struggled with so much in the past was I understood what I needed to do, but I just wasn't doing it for whatever reason. And that's the part I just never really understood why. But I think just the idea of mortality and yeah, realizing that nothing's guaranteed tomorrow. It could end at any moment. And so you might as well just be just maxing it out and just like living it up in the present.
It's true. That's the greatest motivator. Like
Yes.
you live fully today. And if you do that, you sleep well and you'll jump out of bed tomorrow again to do it. But yeah. And then as it relates to confidence, because like I think confidence and magnetic energy are the two biggest pillars, right? And it's then I'm sure that mortality fueled into your confidence. But tell me about like how you felt your confidence really noticeably changing and like how that's manifested itself in real life with like things you're doing, obviously doing a boat day, but like other things on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I think part of it is just realizing I just have to trust myself and that maybe like even if things could go bad, like it's just I know I could just push through and like just the world will keep on going. But I think just another part is wait, sorry, what was the question? Just about
Just like
confidence?
how you feel now being more confident, like trusting yourself, like being your own biggest fan, right? Instead of in the past when you were never proud of yourself.
Just on the confidence part, hard to explain in like in feelings just because it's just me just like just living it out. It's just like it just clicks in my head, but it's kind of hard for me to really verbalize and explain like everything that I feel because one of those things where it's like the emotion is so strong, but it's just almost like I can verbalize it through words. But I guess the best way to explain it is just I don't know. It just because I just getting more reference experience of just now taking just massive action, like taking these shots and just seeing these successes, right? it just compounds. You're like, oh shit, I'm doing this for myself. This is me. It's one of my favorite calls and was talking about that Lewis Hamilton thing. Remember who you are. And
Yeah.
I think because I do a lot of reflecting back on my youth and stuff. And before, like, I guess I did realize that there was a part of me that lost myself from somewhere in childhood. This creativity, just confidence in school that just kind of decreased over time. But now through these actions I'm taking, through this like mindset shift, it's like I'm returning back to that kind of
Yeah.
childlike state of just having that through like this societal perceptions and the sphere of embarrassment. It's just now I'm just building this unwavering confidence internally.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So you got to ignore the external world and what they taught you and get back to being who you are as a kid, because that's how you're going to figure out everything in life and attract the people that you want to be around, the right opportunities. And you've been a great example. It gets back to having fun. But you brought up a great point. Talk a little bit about what he was referencing was like we had a group call about remembering who you are. Like Lewis Hamilton needed that reminder, and then he won in Barcelona. And so talk a little bit first about the community or not first, but talk about the value of the community, the value of the weekly calls, the network, and like the energy from the camaraderie of everyone and how that's benefited.
Yeah, 100%. I think something I realized was when I was making like just my transformation, my shift, right? A lot of people noticed, I think you mentioned a lot of people noticed my energy. That's why the feedback I told you. But I think there's also like another side to it where there's also some like pushback, which is just interesting because even though you think, oh, you're proving yourself, like this should be met with like great reception. But I think there's just a lot of people that are uncomfortable with like change. And that's what I was seeing in some of my friend group. But I think that could lead to maybe some type of like loneliness and isolation. But with like our community, the local legends, it's full of like-minded guys. Like we're all like on a mission. It's just so beautiful because everyone's in a different spot and we all provide just different perspectives, different like kind of backgrounds, and just the conglomeration, just like the different knowledge transfer is just like really cool. And I don't know, it's just great to have a community behind you. Like you could share your wins and like people are celebrating with you. And it's just great that it's such a great core group of guys that very open-minded that we're all on the same mission of improving ourselves.
Yeah, you lit the chat up when you said your story about wanting to be the guy to then planning the boat day. Like everyone was so excited about that. And we obviously talk about momentum, and it is important to celebrate yourself. And then also as you grow, we always need people who are going to push us and help us think bigger and differently as we continue to set our sights on ultimately where you want to be. So the last thing I would ask you is obviously there's an investment required with it. And what would you say your level of ROI is now that you are the guy you wanted to plan the boat days and now you're the guy planning your boat days? Talk about how happy you are and the level of ROI that you've gotten on the investment that you made in yourself.
Yeah, the ROI is, I don't even know if there's like a tangible number. It's like almost like infinite, right? Because this was just almost like 3 months of joining and like my life looks completely different and just so much happier. And just now, yeah, that's just 3 months, right? So who knows, like a month or a year at the end of the year, like 2 years, 5 years. Yeah, the ROI is just infinite. I really feel like just joining what just changed the trajectory of my life. And who's to say maybe I could have got there eventually myself, but this was Disneyland Fast Pass, right? And I'm just so grateful that I just took the chance and invested in the community.
Man, we've been so happy to have you. Your energy's been insane. You could do it yourself, but there's a Be the Guy boot camp and you booked the boat before you join. So you might as well make sure you get it right. There's one thing we know how to do in here, and it's to do boat days for sure. What's your favorite thing now about being the guy?
Yeah, because I guess part of being the guy, like this whole boat event, right? It wasn't for a specific, the purpose was really just kind of as an experience for myself and serve people, right? Just provide that experience for my friends. But I started just accessing like the side effects of it,
Yes.
because I had a lot of different like friend groups come and also just people I actually didn't even know to begin with. But I just got so many invites for the July 4th weekend of, hey, Josh, what are you doing? Yeah, for the weekend. Hey, come out to California, or come out to this bar, come out to my house. And so one of my goals this year was really just like establishing community and especially just, I guess, having more plans. And just naturally, just the side effect of being this guy is like, yeah, it's like fulfilling a lot of these goals I had for myself. And yeah, the ideal life this ideal life I envisioned, a lot of these things are just naturally being achieved because I'm being the guy.
It's the energy flywheel, right? Like
Flywheel. Yeah. Yeah. The flywheel.
shifting your energy from before when you weren't proud of yourself, all the shame and guilt and pressure. And I remember you said like you got mad at yourself for not being the guy you wanted to be. And so it's like this problem continues to punish you. You punish yourself. You're not happy with yourself. Your energy drains. But then the flip side, once you just make that switch, like it happens immediately. It's magic.
Yeah.
And it's like You start being the guy, you start starting with yourself, you're happier, your energy changes, you smile at people, your interactions start going better. This all starts to make you more confident. You start having more fun. You take a risk on yourself to plan a boat day. You're magnetic enough to pull it off. Now this like flywheel just goes and goes. And that's like how life starts to just really go so incredibly well for you people.
Yep. And I think the quote I love is like when you say yes to life, it says yes back.
Yeah.
And you just like, it's just such random opportunities, like not even just like me booking this boat day, but like just me, how I interact with the world now, just more friendlier, more energetic, right? Me just saying hi to people, like walking around or like just striking up a conversation with the cashier at a store. There's actually instances like this summer where just doing these small things, it just kind of opened up just kind of like random opportunities and doors that I would have never had if I just wasn't if I did never start doing those things.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have the best summer ever.
Yeah, again, every
There's so
summer.
there's coming your way. It's gonna be so amazing. I can't wait to hear all about it. And obviously thank you for just joining. Thank you for being the energy. And you throwing the boat day it made my week this week. So I'm
Appreciate
so
it.
thrilled for you and I love it. We'll see the good stories after the summer for sure, starting this weekend.
Sounds good.
All right, brother.